And welcome back here to Arc, Florida. Next week, Americans, of course, will gather with friends and family to celebrate Thanksgiving.
And many of those tables will include guests who choose not to eat anything that requires killing a living creature. But the I-Team has good news for those sensitive souls: real poultry, lab-grown in California.
That's right, everybody. So scientists extract cells from a live chicken, and then they can grow a fillet of raw chicken meat through a process known as cultivation. So that is meat without murder. But here in Florida, we were the first to ban that cultivated meat. And the company behind this breakthrough science is now suing Tallahassee to get that law off the books.
On Firefly Farm in Martin County, owners Taylor and Melissa Cantin are not even a little concerned about lab-grown chicken taking away their customers. They tell the I-Team more and more families are buying poultry directly from them instead of at the grocery store.
They're grown with care. We can truly grow what we would feed our family, which was the entire point of why we got into it, was to find better food options out there.
You need to work with nature to grow the animal properly.
Turkey!
Come on, turkey, come on.
This is the second year Taylor and Melissa have offered turkeys for Thanksgiving. They also have duck, hens and roosters, no chemicals and no pesticides anywhere near any of their birds.
It's proper food, and that's what gets people coming back.
We'll come back here to Firefly Farm in a minute, but now let's go to Hardy County, Florida.
Take your fake lab-grown meat elsewhere. We're not doing that in the state of Florida.
Where, in a cattle arena, Governor DeSantis signed a law banning cultivated meat back in May. It's a misdemeanor to sell it, so restaurants, stores, other businesses could have their licenses suspended if they violate this law. The DeSantis administration says this was done to protect farmers and fight back against the global elite's plan to force the world to eat meat grown in a petri dish to achieve their authoritarian goals. Florida's chickens are big business. $200 million a year big. And you might expect the Cantins would support this pro-farm policy. But think again.
It's not very free state of Florida. People should be able to eat what they want to eat. Adults can make adult decisions, and that includes the food that they eat.
What he's saying is, if you want to go to your freezer and take out a piece of lab-grown chicken, more power to you. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. This product is still 20 to 30 years away from being available in the supermarket, and the company that makes this is called Upside Foods.
It's so good.
Before Florida's law went into effect, Instagram chef Mika Leone, based in Miami, cooked some chicken tostadas with lab-grown chicken from Upside Foods. Sir Richard Branson has invested in Upside Foods, and he tried the cultivated chicken piccata.
Wow. Quite brilliant. Thank you so much.
Upside Foods says this science could someday eradicate famine and sharply reduce greenhouse gases from livestock in the ag industry. Here's molecular biologist Eric Schultz, a former boss at Upside Foods and a retired FDA regulator.
So cultivated meat is real meat. It's just not grown in an animal body. So it's basically 3 steps. We take cells from an animal. Those cells are living. Then we take those cells and we take them and put them in basically what looks like a beer brewing tank. We feed them the same things they would have inside of the animal: vitamins, minerals, sugars, all the things a cell needs to live, the same things you eat. We grow them in a very short amount of time, and then we harvest them and process them just like you would any other cut of meat into a finished food product. The only difference is that you're growing just the things you need, this muscle, connective tissue, and fat, and then you're just processing them, and it's a lot more efficient because you don't have the rest of the animal to grow.
The FDA and the Department of Agriculture approved Upside Foods cultivated chicken. Scholes tells the I-Team if the federal government says it's safe, Florida should let consumers decide.
A preemptive ban on new technologies is antithetical. It is the opposite of what the meat industry has historically embraced. the meat industry is the paragon of embracing innovation. That's how we feed 7.5 billion people on the planet every day their favorite food.
Chicken is the beginning of the cultivated food revolution. Later on down the line, Scholl says Upside Foods will work on beef. In the meantime, changing Florida law could be an uphill battle. Last month, a federal judge denied the company a preliminary injunction. Many more rounds of legal back and forth are coming.
Yummy.
Yeah.
I mean, it certainly could, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing about all this. We report all the time about how expensive meat is getting in our supermarkets. So, you know, this is a possibility to find the options for people that are having issues, you know, affording meat in our supermarkets.
This is going to be so expensive, though, Matt. Like, and it's not even going to be available in grocery stores for a long time. So they're going to roll it out in like fine dining restaurants out in San Francisco and in Manhattan. It's going to be celebrities eating it. They don't even really want to say how much an entree would cost you.
Wow.
And you only get like a very itty bitty piece of pit chicken. Did you see what Richard Branson was eating? It's like a bite. So don't bring your appetite if you're going to try it at a restaurant.
Did you said yummy. Did you sample it?
Okay, I couldn't sample it. The company would not send it to Florida because it's illegal. So they were really dodgy about it, and they said that I could go to New York City to sample it, but that wasn't going to work out. I'm not going to get on a plane to go try a bite of chicken.
Right, makes sense.
You know, I think it's interesting. You know, is there more people out there trying to make this kind of meat?
So Upside Foods is one of the main players in the United States working in this market space, but there is another company. It's called Eat Just. But internationally, there's a half dozen companies doing this, and the regulations are different in other countries, and I think reception, you know, consumer reception is different in other countries too.
It's so interesting because it's really not even an option yet, and people are so divided on this topic.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing, right?
Right, yeah.
This is not an option. It's going to be an option for 20, 30 years. Even when it becomes an option, you're not going to be able to afford it. However,
And Ron goes ahead and he
Of
signs
course,
the bill.
you know.
Governor DeSantis says this is going to save our agriculture industry and our farmers.
so he can be the bastion of.
But you heard
those people.
you heard those folks in the story. I thought I was going to go out there to Martin County and they were going to say, thank goodness that he did this. They were so great to be interviewed, and they said, we actually believe that this product is going to drive people to us even more.
Right.
Because they're going to want the real thing, and it's going to give them, you know, a taste and an appetite for something that truly is farm to table, not grown in a lab. So they had a very interesting perspective on this.
Well, not only that, but that chicken that you're going to eat there is going to taste a whole lot better than the real chicken that you get in a supermarket, right? So again, it's not putting those people out of business.
That's
so
true.
we can go and say, oh, this is all small farmers. It's going to hurt the big business farmers.
Tyson, Purdue, the big names are worried about this for sure.
Okay.
Great stuff, Max.
Okay,
Thank you.
we'll keep tabs on where it goes next.
All right, we'll be right back here on ARC Florida.